WannaBet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så tycker som Kevin Konsol, Papa Konsol, Felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey, hope everybody's doing well. Happy Sunday morning. This is WannaBet. Jason and Ben, as always, we'll have our buddy Eric Casillas back with us on Monday, as he usually is. And we are excited to continue hammering games that we have played this weekend. Look, if you've been watching the show with any regularity and you've been telling us, you've been cashing tickets. And that's why we do this. We're putting a lot of work in, hours and hours and hours a day to distill all of it down to the plays we like the most and that we have the most faith in, that we've made right bleeping now, to try to help you get paid and have you bet sharper and have you bet smarter. And we crushed it again last night. I don't throw that word around like liberally. When I'm saying we're destroying things and we're crushing things, it's because it's goddamn happening. But wait, Ben, can you show the people what we did last night? So this is just, another day in the life of WannaBet. Just one more show. Not our best show. Just an average show for us as we continue to find value in the marketplace that we're cashing in on. And again, we hope you're playing along and we hope you're cashing in too. We don't give 2 and 3 leg Nerfies all the time. We don't give 4 and 5 of them a show. There's a lot of jokers out there who sell you a lot of bullshit. That's not this place. We've given out 2 3-leg Nerfies in the history of this show. They both freaking cashed. Both cashed at over 5-1. That's what we strive to do. And God damn it, that's what we do. So thank you for tuning in. And I hope you come in every day because we ain't stopping anytime soon. We're crushing soccer. Another MLS hit. Vancouver won 3-0. It could have been 5-0. Loved the Whitecaps last night. We've got soccer that we'll get to today in overtime. We'll recap how we're betting the Women's Euros, a tournament that, frankly, we've crushed. We've got plenty of baseball to do, not just Nerfies, but money line bets, first 5 bets, individual props. Beltway Ben giving you plus money on the Laureano prop. That was an 18-0 win for the Orioles. Beltway Ben, any other thoughts on what's been going on here at WannaBet before we give people our bets of the day?
Yeah, we're doing great. Yesterday I finished 3-1 in the PLL. Tough loss. The Chaos took down Philadelphia in overtime.
Yeah.
Crazy game, and Philadelphia is just so undisciplined. A couple of giveaway goals that really cost them in that game, but they were able to fight back, send it to overtime, and then lost late. So we were pretty close to a 4-0 PLL weekend. Gleyber Torres and Ramon Laureano basically wash itself out. I mean, down 0.1. But and then outside of that, we lost a WNBA parlay, and Brianna Stewart hits a 3 in the first 3 minutes of the game and goes down with an injury, is out the rest of the game. So that's one tricky thing about sports betting. And the one, you're not going to get many places that will refund you or do anything like that. But right. Fanatics Sportsbook, I did see was doing it, and they do it a lot. So if you want to help yourself and maybe save yourself a little bit, Fanatics Sportsbook is one of the only main books that I see that will give you a refund if you lose an injury. All the other ones say, they don't show it. And again, it's sports betting. I don't get that. I'm not angry at the sportsbook. If someone gets hurt and I have their under, I don't want them giving me my money back and not my win. So you have to go into it expecting things. But again, it was basically an even day yesterday. We were down about 0.4 units, a little bit down, but bounced back today.
I'd love to see that become the industry standard in terms of some of the injuries. I mean, anything that benefits us, right? Because all the advantages are with the house. Yep. Let's be real. That's why this is so difficult. We keep plugging along. So we do this every day. First, second, and third down, the 3 favorite plays we've made in any sport, really since our last show. First, second, third down's the money down in the NFL. We try to stack them in order of how much we love them. Fourth and long, a lot of times we look at a long shot bet or a future bet that doesn't pay off for a long time, or sometimes it's fourth and short. And today, because we have been destroying Nerfies, we are going to go 4th and short, a bet that you could cash very quickly or lose. But you don't have to sit through the whole game. I am on another Nerfy there. And as I told you, overtime, the women's Euros conclude this afternoon. England against Spain in the final. It's a tournament we've made you a lot of money on. We've made a lot of money on, and we plan on going out with a bang. We'll recap how we bet that. First down, Beltway Ben, where are we starting today?
Yeah, first down here, we're going to go to the A's-Astros game. And I'm going to go with Brent Rooker over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, which you can get at -135. And lefties are slugging .538 against Colton Gordon at Dyson Park this season. I went against him with J-Ram a few weeks ago, week and a half or 2 weeks ago. And J-Ram, of course, took him yard to left field. And that left field wall is very, very friendly to a lot of right bats. And we've seen that through a lot of guys who have been in Houston for a while. But he's just 4 for 27 in his last 7 games. He did have a double yesterday, so maybe we're starting to see him push out of it. He's slashing .304, .415, .595 against left-handed pitching this season. One of the better hitters in the game, to be quite honest, in my opinion. And this is an opportunity spot because you know the A's are going to get guys in scoring position. 20 runs in 2 games this series. I know the first game was the 15-run game where we saw Kurtz hit 4 home runs. But they did score 5 runs yesterday, so it's not just the one-off. Like, this offense will give Rooker a lot of opportunities with guys in scoring position. And, of course, Rooker's in that 3 spot, so hitting behind a Lawrence Butler, and he's facing a lefty, but Lawrence Butler did do some damage against Gordon the last time he faced him. And then, of course, Wilson, who gets on base more than a lot of guys, base hits at least. So I do like Brent Rooker over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
Yeah, the A's in a really good vein of form. The A's have not been as good as I thought they'd be this year. I thought some more young pitchers might step up for them, and the bullpen kind of collapsed a little bit. But I bet you the A's are trickier than you think down the stretch, and I'll probably be on them quite a bit. First down for me, Beltway Ben. I've been doing a lot of action in this Miami-Milwaukee series. And look, I don't hate the Nerfy today. I didn't play it. I played it a lot. I just, for me personally, I laid off it. Again, I don't think it's a terrible play if you want to go Nerfy. I prefer the first 5 under 4.5 here. Yuri Perez took him a couple starts to get his sea legs back under him, but he's been the ace that everybody who watched him pitch in the minors thought he could be. 2.5 ERA in his last 7 starts. He's got a whip of 0.87 for the season. Does not give a lot of free runners access to the base pass. And Brandon Woodruff has looked like an absolute ace. This guy is a bulldog. He's a pit bull. He's got a 1.65 ERA on the season. He went 6 innings against the Marlins in his second game back from prolonged injury absence. All he did there is go 6 innings and allow 1 earned run. He continues to get built up. This is a big spot for the Brewers. Like, they want to win this series. They've been great at home. Slipped up a little bit last night. They know that Miami's game, the series, that they played in Miami was scrappy. This series has been scrappy. And look, the Brewers don't score nearly as many runs at home as they do on the road. You're looking at a Miami team that can score runs. Like, it's a fairly productive offense, but I don't think they're going to get to Woodruff early in this one today. You look at Perez in his 7 starts. He's allowed 11 total runs in the first 5 innings of games. 5 of those 7 starts, he's allowed 2 or less. Milwaukee 62-42 to the under on the season through the first 5. 31-21 to the under first 5 at home. Miami's basically a 500 team, over under first 5 on the road, but I think this is a pitcher's duel today. Second down, Ben.
Yeah, second down. We will go to a college football future bet, 4 different teams. We're going to go with San Jose State 6+ wins, BYU
Spicy.
6+ wins, Georgia Tech 7+ wins, and Clemson 9+ wins. Now, you don't love going Georgia Tech Clemson when it got 2 teams match up, and basically you need both to get a win. But I'm fine with it given both of their schedules. I do want to give a shout out to friend of the show, Tim Murray on San Jose State.
Yeah,
you guys had him on Inside Access the other day, and he mentioned them. And through this weekend, I kind of was looking into them, and I'm like, everything Tim said. I mean, I know how smart Tim is, and it backed it up when I looked into it. And I will probably be getting into them more this week on Want to Bet, but today we're going to put them in this parlay here at 6+ wins.
Nice tease. Nice
And
tease.
absolutely. So you should be tuning in every day as always. But Nia Matalolo is in year 2, and in year 1 he won 7 games. Like, this dude knows how to win.
Yes,
I think he was kind of forced out of Navy the wrong way.
Yeah.
I didn't like how that went down.
Me neither.
So he should have a lot of success there again in year 2. And I think he's going to continue to have success in that Mountain West Conference. Then you look at BYU. The quarterback gets suspended and then leaves. So there's question marks at that position. But Satake always has that defense great. They also have a pretty fair schedule out of conference. And then in the Big 12, they're always going to compete. And then
Tough
the two
place
ACC
to play,
schools,
altitude, all that stuff.
different. Yeah. And the student section last year was pretty wild. That was being talked about not by the national media a lot and how tough it was to play there. And then Georgia Tech, like I might also get into this later this week because I really, really like them and what their schedule does for them. Haynes King and then Jamal Haynes are back, quarterback, running back, two of the best, two-headed duo in the country with what they can do. And then Clemson 9+ wins at +201. I've talked about Clemson 100 times probably on this show, and we will throughout the season as well because we will be playing them pretty regularly. So these 4 teams, 6 wins, basically bowl eligible for the first 2. Georgia Tech to win 7 and Clemson to do what we all think they'll do.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Second down for me. Everybody and their mom is probably on the Baltimore Orioles today after they won 18-0 last night. Not me. Give me the Rockies +140 on the money line first 5. I think we could at least tread water here and push. Austin Gomber on the mound for Colorado. If you look at his overall numbers, they look terrible. And I understand that, but he's not at Coors Field today. So that should help us out. He's a lefty. The Orioles cannot hit lefties at home. The Baltimore Orioles versed left-handed pitching at home in the first 5 innings of games. 617 OPS, 28th. Beltway Bend, 284 on base. Ugh. And a 25.3% K rate against lefties in the first 5 innings of games at home. That's bottom 9 in Major League Baseball. Gomber's the kind of guy I think can keep them off balance. This is an offense that's hit or miss. When they go big like they did last night, they tend to quickly regress. Manzolino, their manager, is a fraud. It'll probably be a joke-ass lineup out there today. And really what I'm doing here also is fading Tomo Sagano, who's not a Major League starter, and he knows he's not a Major League starter. The ball's been flying out in this series, Beltway Ben. I live 10 miles from the stadium, took my dogs for a walk this morning. It's hot and sticky. The ball will be flying out today. Sagano at home has allowed 11 home runs in 50 innings pitched. He's given up 55 hits in 50 innings pitched. His last 7 starts, Sagano has an ERA of 7.88, and this alleged control guy has a whip over 2. You give free passes and Hunter Goodman takes you deep, you're in trouble. I think the Rockies have nothing to lose. They know the splits on this guy. They know the long ball. They'll be chasing it. The weather conditions should be conducive. And again, the Orioles have sucked at home against lefties in the first 5 innings a game. So, and the Orioles also entered last night before they scored 18 runs, averaging 3.5 runs per game in the month of July. Only the Pirates were averaging less. So for that kind of payoff, give me Colorado to look. I think they can win the first 5, but we'll take that money line. Third down, Ben.
Yeah, real quick on that. You can make it an official play for me, but I'm going to go, just there. Austin Gomber, over 15.5 outs recorded. You touched on how bad they've been against lefties, and Gomber's only done it once. It was a play that I kind of had saved away, but once I saw that you were going with the Rockies, I said I would just throw that in there. So Gomber, just get 1 out in the 6th inning against this bad lineup. You talked about what Manzolino does with the lineup. And again, this is a guy, if you look at his home road splits, it's pretty crazy how good he's been away. And since coming back from injury, he hasn't gotten to the 100 pitches yet. And I think they're still being careful with him, whether they want to move him or however they're going to do it. But that bullpen is not good. And last night we saw Agnos go down, who's been pretty reliable for them. And the first night we did see their best 3 guys, but I think they're going to let Gomber at least try to get through 6 tonight. So I do like him over 15.5 outs. And you can get that at -120. So there's not much juice for a guy to get 1 out in the 6th inning. But third down.
Real quick, I also played Sagano over 3+ earned runs allowed at -125. So that's another way you might want to go at this. Just throwing that out there. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Yeah, WNBA is where I'm going to go for third down. And listen, the other night, found out late that, first off, we have that future on the Valkyries to make the playoffs.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, there was nothing to be told about Kayla Thornton, who's been their best player. All of a sudden, she's done for the year. She's getting surgery and she's out. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. And then it comes out that Monique Billings, their center, is out for the last matchup. And I'm like, I have to play Salawan, right? She can score. She's aggressive on the glass. Very, very good rookie. Played her points and rebounds. It was at 14.5 the other night. She cleared that without a sweat. And then they move it up to 19.5 today, but I will be going right back to it. It's the same situation. I think she has very strong game. She went for 16 and 7 the last time they played. She's a great 3-point shooter. Sky play a lot of drop coverage, and we saw it with Azura Stevens in the last game where she went for 17, knocking down 4 threes. So I do think Salawan is strong here and just does what she needs to. 16 or 19.5 is a big number in a lot of places, especially for her when you look at game logs, how she hasn't done it that much this year. But Thornton had played every game before getting hurt, and Billings had played a majority of their games. So it's been very rare that she is playing with these two out. I do like her over that 19.5 points and rebounds mark.
Sweet. Excellent. Beltway Ben has us covered in the WNBA. Third down for me. I'm going back to that Blue Jays Tigers series. I haven't talked about it a whole lot on the show, but if you're on our super Discord, and you can find out how to join right on the bio of my Twitter. I don't know why I always look up. Like, I think, like the top of your Twitter feed. If you look at the bio on my Twitter feed, there's a link tree. If you look at Beltway Ben's bio on his Twitter feed, there's a link tree. You can find out about the super Discord there. I have been pounding this series there with great results to this point, and I'm going to take that plus money on Toronto first 5 money line. Look, neither starter's been great. I'm not going to sell you that. We don't bullshit you here. So Scherzer hasn't been great, but Flaherty has been god-awful. And with the way Toronto's swinging the bats versus the way Detroit's swinging the bats, this was a play I couldn't lay off. Flaherty's got Sagano numbers his last 7 starts, Beltway Ben. 7.79 ERA. This dude has walked 20 guys in his last 32 innings pitched. Go ahead and do that against the way Toronto's swinging the bats right now. Yes, he relies on strikeouts. That's the only way he gets outs. The ball's put in play. The ball's put in play hard. He does have 45 strikeouts in his last 32 and a third innings pitched. However, Beltway Ben, if you look at Toronto's strikeout rate on the road against right-handed pitching, it's best in the major leagues. So good luck. Good luck, General Soreness, getting a whole lot of swing and miss from them. They're going to take that ball 4 from you. I think Scherzer versus one of his former teams, he always kind of gets up for that. And the Tigers just can't score right now, Beltway Ben. They're 1-8 since the All-Star break. They've scored 15 runs total. Beltway Ben, in innings 1 through 5 of ball games since the All-Star break, right? So that's 9 games, 9 times 5, 45. 45 innings. They have 6 runs scored in the first 5 innings of games since the All-Star break. Everybody else in the majors has at least 12. So I'm leaning into that trend. I'm leaning into not either starting pitcher I normally want to back, but I'll back Scherzer with that lineup behind him against Flaherty, who's been god-awful, who's not going to get the ugly chase that's been saving him, who's going to have to pitch with ducks on the pond, and it's a Tigers team that looks like it's just cratering right now. Look, do they find a way to win this game in the extra innings, late in the game, and make it maybe it becomes a bullpen game, and AJ Hinch, like they're going to win a game here soon, but I'm drilling down on plus money on the first 5. All right, 4th and long or short here, Beltway Ben. Again, it could be a long-term bet, it could be a long shot bet, or it could be something that could cash real quickly for you tonight in terms of short or today. Where are we going?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a longer one. WNBA parlay, as I've been doing. 1 in each game. There's 4 games today, so we have 1 play in each game. Salon, 10-plus points, which we already talked about. Angel Reese for a double-double. Asia Wilson, 20-plus points, and the Mercury on the money line. The double-double for Angel Reese. She's done it in 10 straight games. And was reading about, the record that she could set by doing it. And we know they are going to, they're not playing for much. When you look at the Sky, they're not playing for much. They're giving her an opportunity. She is questionable with a back injury. So if this gets cleared, it would just be plus 136. But I do like where we're at. I think she's going to play. And I think if she does play, they're going to try to get her another double-double. Aces have been struggling. And you get a team that Wilson's been really, really good against in the past. They need their best player and probably the best player in the WNBA to show up. So I like her for 20-plus points, which she's done a ton this year. And the Mercury, we got it wrong yesterday, but I'm going to continue fading the Mystics against teams that I think are better than them, quite honestly. And the Mercury, just when you look at the starting 5s compared to each other, the Mercury have them by a mile. And the Mercury are also healthy here. So a healthy Mercury team, I know they're going on the road, but they're -3 something. I just like them to win. So these 4 things get us to plus 232.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for covering us in the WNBA. I'm doing a quick hitter, a fourth and short. I'm just doing a one leg a Nerfy play here. Now look, we hit a 3-leg Nerfy parlay last weekend for plus 669. We hit a 3-leg Nerfy parlay yesterday for plus 516. We also had that played as a 2-leg. And we also had the KC Cleveland in game 1 just as a standalone Nerfy. If you want to parlay this with the Nerfy in Milwaukee and Miami, again, if I was going to play another one here, that's where I would go. But I don't want to force this. I did my process. Nothing really, like, I didn't feel super strongly about it, except for this, especially the way it's priced. Look, Cantillo and Cameron are not household names. They're not like Vegas obviously doesn't think a ton of them. But these teams don't score in the first inning. They are 2 of the top 3 Nerfy teams in MLB. And if you filter for home and road based on where this is being played, they're top 3 Nerfy teams, home road splits. They played 2 games yesterday. The first one, which was the one we were on, had a Nerfy. Cleveland scored 3 runs against the Royals in the first inning of the second game, which we were not on. But like Cameron has a 2.08 ERA through 13 first innings, right? He's allowing a 114 batting average with a 0.62 whip. And he's facing a Cleveland lineup that, yeah, they got hot recently, but they're one of the worst run producing teams in baseball. Cantillo doesn't have as big of a sample size, right? 4 starts, 4 first innings, 154 batting average against. He's been pretty good. If you look at Cleveland on the road versus left-handed pitching in the first inning of ball games, Ben, 4 runs produced all season, 672 OPS. Kansas City, look, if you run the numbers for them against lefties in the first inning, for a not good offensive team, they're not bad, but I don't like them to start this game hot here. Again, 2 top 3 Nerfy teams. I like the minus 113, so that's where we're at. Brings us to overtime. We'll wrap the show up with the Women's Euros, a tournament that we wagered on quite a bit. And look, most of this tournament, the way to play it was overs on total goals and both teams to score. But as we got to the semifinal round, the goals became a whole lot harder to come by, even kind of the last 2 quarterfinals. Despite teams playing with an extra woman, despite early red cards, goals were hard to come by. And I expect that to be the case here. England has played tight. England has left it late. They've relied on super stubs to score, equalizers 1-1 to send games to extra time. They've even in extra time left it really late, finding ways to win to avoid penalties. It would not shock me if this game went to penalties. Spain was scoring 4 goals a game through the group stage. That changed the knockout stage. Spain's possession has not translated to high-quality scoring chances. Spain's efficiency through the air has waned. This is an England team that I think will woman mark them pretty well on set pieces. I don't think they're going to get free headers and things like that. Spain has not been as on the front foot once they faced elimination, and I think England will understand how to defend them here. I do think still Spain has the better side. Spain's been the best team in this tournament. I think they win this match. I'm not so sure they win it in regulation, but I think they win this match. And I'm hoping, Beltway Ben, that this thing is 0-0 at the half. If you want to play no goals in the first half, I've sprinkled on that. I'm hoping this is a typical final where the legs are tired. We're deep into the tournament, especially this one played in the dead of summer. Both teams are a little bit tight, a little bit conservative, and the longer this goes with no goals, the better. I'm praying against a goal in the first 30 minutes, but that's how I see this going down.
Yeah, I know not much about soccer, but I do know tailing Jason has done very, very well this year, and I will be tailing that one as well.
Beltway Ben, and speaking of tailing, can you show the people again what we did last night, what we've done for the season on this show that we launched on May 21st? We're here pretty much every day. Like there were some days where I was out on vacation, a few days where Ben was out on vacation. And I don't just mean Monday through Friday. Like we do this pretty much every day that there's things going on in the sports calendar. We cover all sports here that we have done the work on. We don't throw shit out there to throw it out there. We don't do it to do it. We do it because we bet it. We do it because we feel strongly about it. We do it because we want to get you paid. That's why we do this show. We hope you enjoy watching this show. As I mentioned, we'll be back tomorrow with our buddy Eric Casilius. We'll do it at noon. I have some Champions League qualifiers that I've already gotten into that are, frankly, those plays are already on the Super Discord. We'll touch on some of those. It's an interesting week in MLS. They'll be playing Mexican clubs in a League Cup competition. We'll have some plays on that. We're going to get into some more NFL futures that we really like. And hey, we're going to have an NFL game to bet this week, Ben. And look, we're not going to go crazy on it. And if we just have leans there, if we just have thoughts about it, we will give it to you. We'll make it explicitly clear if we're playing it or not. We're not going to play the Hall of Fame game just because it's being played. But we know a lot of people do bet that way. So we'll keep you educated. We're going to do everything we can to keep putting money in your pocket. We thank you for watching Wanna Bet. We'll see you Monday at noon.